Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good afternoon, Roberters.
Roberta.
Thank you, Bertolino. I hope everyone's doing good. Did we all need a break if we're watching the Darrell Brooks trial? I think we all needed a little breather. It got a little intense today. Got a little intense. If you missed it, I did put a short up of one of the more intense moments. There's been quite a few that judge is now, I think, lost control of her courtroom. So this is a much needed little breather from that trial. Before we get started, I want to thank all the moderators that are here and all of you members. The members are in green, and if you want to become a Roberta, the moderators will put the link in chat. And if you could give this video a thumbs up right now, be greatly appreciated. So I first want to thank our latest subscribers. We've got Blake Freeman, Kevin Dusenberry, Nate Micum. We got 3 dudes that joined today. Welcome, guys. And then we've got Peyton Kelly, RJ Guess, Johnny Escalona, another guy. Our male ratio is definitely going up around here, ladies. Soulface, DJ AD9, Scott Hellman Toller. Hope I said that right. Skeptical Scorpio, Andrew1234, Brookie became a member, and that was yesterday. So that is all our subscribers for today. And I want to thank you guys for subscribing. A Roberter is a member. It's like a pet name for my members. So you're Roberters and the guys are Robertolinos.
Roberta.
So if, and this all came from the Brian Laundrie case, if you don't know.
That's how it played out.
That's kind of how it played out. So if you want to help me name my kitty, you're probably wondering what is on the screen. And that is a kitty that found me after Hurricane Ian. And she's a little girl. So we can't name her Ian and we can't name her like Hurricane or, you know, any male name. So I'm doing a Name the Kitty contest. So you can email your suggestions to namethatkitty@gmail.com. And I'm going to pick 8 this weekend. So I'm going to sit down, go through them, pick 8 top names from the Roberters that send them. And then as we go through the live streams, we're going to do 1-to-1. So like Puss in Boots versus Kitty Cat. And then whoever wins that one will bring another name into it. And then we'll narrow it down. And you guys actually ultimately will choose the name of my kitty. So that's what that is all about. So get your names in today. Because I'm going to start going through them tomorrow. Hello, Shell. I have missed my Shell. All right. Moving forward, we have a lot of updates. I'm going to start with the Michigan case because there's an update that just came out about an hour ago. So this is crazy. I think this guy might be having some kind of a mental episode, which is really scary because he's got 2 sons that are autistic, special needs. And we all know that, you know, autism comes with wanting like a pattern, wanting structure, needing that kind of schedule, you know, like a schedule, a routine per se. So now we have these 2 special needs teenagers out of their element, which is number one, the first thing I thought of. Then we have the mother with them, Suzette, and then the father, Anthony. And the cops were at their home in Fremont, Michigan on Sunday. And now they're all missing, but there's been a sighting, so we're gonna go walk through it. But before we start, I want to show you guys where they live in Michigan. You know, I'm a Michigander originally, so we're gonna zoom into Fremont, Michigan, which is over by Grand Rapids, if you're familiar with the Michigan area. And they live in a really nice nice house, nice little neighborhood here. For all intents and purposes, Fremont is just a little town in Michigan. So I'm going to give you guys kind of bird's eye to show you where it is in Michigan. So it's on the west side of the state. Grand Rapids is right here, and then Kalamazoo is down here. So that gives you, and if you guys followed the video that I did on Eric Cross is right here by Kalamazoo as well. So kind of gives you a little idea of the geographical area. So let's watch the first thing that came out on this family and the dad calling 911, because he talks about 9/11 terrorist attacks. People want to wipe him off the earth and all of this stuff. So let's take a listen.
Developing news out of Newaygo County, where a family of 4 is missing. Nobody has seen or heard from the Siriglianos since Sunday.
Police say they left behind a family member who they care for and their pets at their home in Fremont. News 8's Kyle Mitchell spoke with Fremont's police chief. He's live there now with what we've learned today.
Wait,
Kyle.
You guys can't see it. All right.
They left behind a family member who they...
So, hold on. Let me get the right video up. They left behind her mother is the family member, which broke my heart because her mother has Alzheimer's. And she lived with them. And apparently her daughter took care of her. And then this dude, like, left her behind.
care for and their pets.
Oh, I guess it was the right video. It's just not moving. Oh, my gosh. I'm having a blonde moment. Sorry.
4 is missing. Nobody has seen or heard from the Siriglianos since Sunday.
Police say they left behind a family member who they care for and their pets at their home in Fremont. News 8's Kyle Mitchell spoke with Fremont's police chief. He's live there now with what we've learned today. Kyle.
Police say they haven't been seen since Sunday. Officers were called to their home the day before their disappearance. Tony Sirigliano, his wife Suzette, and sons Brandon and Noah are missing. Suzette's mother, who has dementia, was left behind.
Is that better?
Police say she's being cared for by family. A family member tells News 8 there was no sign of trouble at the home and that the father's phone was gone, but the mother's was left behind. Police say officers were called by Tony to the home the day before the disappearance.
Around midnight on Sunday morning on October 16th, 2 of my officers went to the Sirigliano house and had...
Can you guys hear it better now? Lisa. Oh, Lisa and Jackie. I'm glad to see that Nightbot's not here harassing you guys. All right.
Contact with Tony or Anthony Sirigliano. Tony was talking about issues or information that he had regarding the September 11th attacks. But really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making sure everybody was safe and trying to make sure that mental illness wasn't putting anybody in jeopardy.
Police are looking for the family's 2005 silver Toyota minivan. The
Cody
chief says they don't have any sign of where that vehicle might be. We'll have the latest tonight at 7, 10, and 11. Live in Fremont, Kyle Mitchell.
It kind of reminded me of the Tote family as well, but I think just because his name's Anthony and it's weird. All right, here's another video, and then we're going to get to the latest update.
Also developing news we're following in Newaygo County. A family of 4 is missing. No one has seen them since Sunday.
We have multiple crews working this story right now to learn new information. And News 8's Phil Panarski is in the newsroom with the latest developments on this. Phil?
Yeah, that's right, Sue and Rick. Just moments ago, we spoke with Fremont police who tell us on Sunday officers responded to the family's home after the father called 911 with theories about the September 11th terror attacks. Just hours later, relatives heard from the family for the final time. And take a look at your screen right now. This is the Sirigliano family. Parents Tony and Suzette are both 51 years old. Their sons Brandon and Noah are 19 and 15. Both have autism. The family's phones have been turned off. They also left behind an elderly family member that they care for. Just moments ago, News 8's Kyle Mitchell talked with the Fremont police chief.
Around midnight on
Okay.
Sunday morning on October 16th.
That's the same clip that we just saw. Okay, so here is the 911 call from Anthony Sirigliano. Anthony Sirigliano.
I'm not crazy. Mr. Keating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here.
New tonight, part of a 911 call Tony Sirigliano made hours before he, his wife, and 2 teenage sons with autism disappeared from their Fremont home. Good evening, everyone. I'm Juliette Dragas. At 9:30 tonight, the Fremont police chief told me there's no news. They're still looking for Tony, Suzette, Brandon, and Noah Sirigliano. No one's heard from the family since early Sunday morning, hours after that 911 call was made. Police are looking for a 2005 Toyota minivan like this one with a Michigan plate DJL 1982. We have been following this developing story all day. 13 on your side's Trevier Gonzalez joins us now with the latest.
Yeah, Juliet, the neighbors were caught off guard by the news of this missing family. And of course, you did call to the chief for an update. And at this point, that family has still not been found.
This don't make sense. It's such a nice family. What's going on?
Authorities have not been able to track Tony Sirigliano's cell phone. His wife Suzette and sons Brandon and Noah Sirigliano left their phones at home. But a day before the Monday disappearance, he called 911, concerned about the September 11th terror attacks.
I need some police protection immediately.
Okay, for what?
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy.
Fremont officers went to the family's home, concerned for Tony Sirigliano's mental well-being.
They made contact with Suzette, had looked at the 2 boys and made sure that they were okay, and frankly left the contact on the 16th. Just, if you need anything, give us a call. We're here to help.
It wasn't until Suzette Sirigliano's mother, who has dementia, was found wandering the area by a neighbor that police learned that their extended family was worried.
It is kind of scary to think a whole family can just disappear.
The search now an all-hands-on-deck effort for the department, which is also getting help from Newaygo County and Michigan State Police. Investigators say they believe the family was last seen in a silver Toyota Sienna, but a neighbor tells us that minivan was not their normal car.
I just saw it the first time a couple of weeks ago. The dad was driving it. The boys were kind of looking in the back like maybe it was something they got new or something.
Neighbors are asking the family for a sign if they are safe.
Stay safe. Just if you choose not to come back, that's your guys' choice. I respect that. Just at least let the family know. Gotta take care of Grandma and let friends know.
Now, if you have any information on this family's whereabouts or if you may have even seen that minivan, you're also asked to call the Fremont Police Department at 231-924-2100.
Okay.
All that stuff they say is...
So it's really scary, you guys. I think, Robin, you're onto something there, girl. Robin said, I think people are digging into conspiracies and getting a little over their heads and getting their minds wrapped up in it. I think a lot of things have happened with people mentally over the last 2 years with COVID. I really do. I think being at home, people being online, seeing things maybe they never saw before. There's a lot of people that have been brought online that weren't online like before, or at least not as much, and now they are. So I think Robin, I think you're right. Yes, Paranormal or Parawoman, that is from 15 hours ago. Now, this one here is from an hour ago. So they were spotted at a gas station in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Let's go back to our trusty Google Earth. And I bet you never thought you'd see Google Earth on a TV with knobs. Like, how outrageously cool is that? I mean, I think I deserve like tons of likes for that. All right, so now let's take a look in So they've traveled from here, where the pin is, at their home, and now they've been spotted all the way up here in the Upper Peninsula. So if this dude's trying to get into Canada, he's going to have some bad luck, because I think the Michigan State Police and the Border Patrol are looking for him. So if you're not familiar with the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, I will give you a little brief synopsis. We have the Lower Peninsula, which is connected to the Upper Peninsula by the Mackinac Bridge. And I will drop you down for a little view on the Mackinac Bridge. If you've never been here, it is quite astounding. It is beautiful. This is my beautiful home state. That is Lake Huron. And then on the other side is Lake Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful. And this bridge does move when the wind blows, because it is I can't remember, I'm having a brain fart, but I can't remember the name of it, but it moves. It's supposed to move, though. So if they're trying to get over the border, they're being looked for their safety, for a welfare check. So I'm pretty sure they won't get into Canada. So let's watch this latest update and see when they were seen in the UP. Wait, let's go back. I like the TV with the knobs. All right, let's see what this Fremont police chief has to say.
Possible. Ready for you, Chief?
Okay.
Can we have you say and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Tim Rodwell, Tim, and then Rodwell.
Chief of Police.
I am.
Freeport?
No, Fremont.
Fremont, not Freeport.
Yeah, not Freeport, no.
Can you tell me, do you have any updates on the on our family?
So the campaign that we've had working
Suspension
with the media
Bridge,
and trying to get the message out about Tony, Suzette, and the boys has seemed to work. We had contact early this morning from a BP gas station manager who believed she had seen the family on Monday, the 17th of October, between 10:40 and 10:55. Since then, we've been able to obtain surveillance video.
Wait, what day? The 17th? Oh my God. Did they get into Canada? Guys, that was like 4 days ago.
Of October, between 10:40 and 10:55. Since then, we've been able to obtain surveillance video and corroborated her belief, and we do, and we know at this point that Tony, Suzette, and the boys were in the gas station on Monday, October 17th.
In Gulliver, Michigan.
Gulliver, Gulliver.
Is that in the Upper Peninsula?
It is. It's a small village along U.S.2 on the southern
Plugging that into Google Earth, guys.
Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
Have you personally seen this video?
I have.
Did they look distressed? Did they look okay?
Of Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
Have you personally seen this video?
I have.
Wait, hold on. I got to get the city again. Sorry.
Iver.
Is that in the Upper Peninsula?
Gulliver?
It is. It's a small village along US2 on the southern side of Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
Have you personally seen this video?
I have.
Did they look distressed? Did they look okay, happy, sad?
During the video, it looks like one of the boys attempted to use the gas station's telephone, but as far as distressed or any other issues, it's really ambiguous to that.
Did they buy gas? Did they get snacks, water? Did they buy a bunch of water, a bunch of food?
It looks like they filled or put gas into their minivan, so we do know that they at that time were driving the 2005 Toyota Sienna minivan. They had made some other small purchases as well.
Is that minivan registered to them?
It is.
Okay, because we heard yesterday from neighbors that it wasn't a vehicle they usually drove.
They had 3 vehicles inside the home, and the two others have been accounted for.
Okay. Do you know? They wanted me to ask. Did Anthony have a record in North Carolina? Do you know of any of that?
Oh, they're from North Carolina, guys. Start searching.
do you know what direction they were headed when they were in the Upper Peninsula?
They were headed eastbound. So U.S.2 in that area sort of follows that southern border. So when we say eastbound, they may have been going on a northeast direction, but it was eastbound on U.S.2.
Got it. No indication of where they might be going at?
None.
Is there any indicator in terms of the direction that they would be going, like what the next potential places they would pass through?
So in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, this section of US2 is between Manistee and what we'll call St. Ignace. It's a very rural area. I mean, there's a lot of the National Forest, and I would describe it as a very rural area of Michigan.
Okay.
The whole UP is rural.
Up there and stuff. So obviously the idea is if we can expect that they're coming to some next spots or something, we can begin to look at that. Has the investigation yielded any reasoning why they would go to the UP? Are they frequenters of the UP, or is this something that's just seemingly kind of out of the ordinary? I mean, just kind of what has been the idea behind them going forward?
The investigation really tends us to believe that both Tony and Susie just really spent their time taking care of their boys and taking care of the elderly grandmother. We don't know of them taking a lot of trips other than maybe a day trip to somewhere near Fremont, but we don't have evidence of camping. We don't have evidence of trips overnight in a hotel or any pattern of behavior like that.
Does this feel spontaneous?
It does.
To go such a considerable distance and everything like that. So.
Yes, it does.
And the idea of them going eastbound or kind of northeast and everything, that takes them deeper into the peninsula, right? That doesn't let them kind of, come back down, or, just getting that directional map, I guess.
You'd have to look on the map to really get it, but it brings you closer to the Mackinac Bridge, which we all know is the only entrance to Michigan's Lower Peninsula from the Upper Peninsula. So it would lead me to believe they were headed that way.
I'm so sorry about that. I have news for you after this, but your press release, I guess, is corrupted.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's not great.
They asked us if you could resend it.
Okay, I can do that.
Yes. No, sorry about that. Just kind of talking with us and getting that out there. Obviously, it has been beneficial, right?
It's been great. One of the reasons I think we all live in Western Michigan is just that sense of community and that sense of helping each other out. And I think the Sirigliano family needs help right now. And the working with all of your resources and your counterparts has really been beneficial to try and paint a better picture of what's going on here and to get a message out.
Is there anybody else see anything, or any other tips you may have received?
We received, I would say, approximately a dozen more tips, but we just cannot corroborate anything else. And some of the tips would involve what I would describe as ambiguous information.
So this was one of your first good, solid, corroborated tips?
Correct. It was one of the ones where I could reach back and say I have video, and I've looked at the video myself and can verify it. Some of the other tips have included, a possible gray SUV or a gray van in this, in this state or that state, and it's pretty ambiguous information.
Because how many silver minivans are there?
Right. When you start looking, you'll notice, they're everywhere.
Anything else we should have touched on?
I was just going to ask you for the last thing, just in terms of now, this has been, such a fast-moving investigation, especially with kind of the media getting involved and everything like that. What is kind of your continued call to action as, we reach kind of the height of it, and then, as, things start to develop? What is just kind of your call to action to the community to, stay invested, stay involved, keep, looking for these people? I just kind of wanted to hear from your side.
My view is we're asking the community just to help this family, and there's the Sirigliano family. From everything I can tell, is a very close family, and they're deeply concerned. And they have members of that family who live all around the country that are coming to Fremont because they are deeply concerned about everyone's well-being. I would ask that everybody in the community just continue the effort of letting us know when they see them and if they've heard from them. And lastly, if Tony and Susie can hear this, that they feel comfortable calling us and letting us know that they're okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hopefully they are heading back. So he said they were heading east, you guys, on I-2. So if we go to our map, this is East I-2, and this is the BP. I wonder who he called, because he's certainly not saying that they called a family member. But they're heading east, so let's go back out to the map. And let's turn. Let's twirl. She likes to twirl. And then let's zoom out. So if they're heading east, you see the pin, that's the BP. So keep your eye on the prize. So this is 2. So they would be heading, like he said, back towards the Mackinac Bridge, which is the only way to get back down to the lower peninsula. So let's zoom out so we can get a grip here and follow 2. And hope that maybe they're returning home, because 2 runs into 75, and 75 is the Mackinac Bridge. So one can only hope that maybe they're coming back home. I mean, what if they just come back home and he's like, oh, guys, we just took a little trip up to the UP. Tried to call? Yes, please email any case suggestions to jsforjustice@gmail.com. Okay, so I guess we need to keep our eye on this, because this was just about an hour and a half ago.
Newaygo County 911.
Here's the full 911.
Yes, hello. This is Anthony John Sirigliano, North Michigan Avenue in Fremont, Michigan, 49412.
Okay, what's going on tonight?
Yes, everyone is okay, but I need the Fremont Police Department, and I believe he is Captain Geating, John Geating. I need some police protection immediately.
Okay, for what?
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy. Mr. Geating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this. Please send someone that knows Geating and can talk to U.S. authorities, please.
Okay. And do you have any weapons there?
No weapons at all, not even a BB gun.
All right. How do we spell your last name?
Sure, it's Cirigliano.
And your phone number?
We have no landline.
Okay. All right. We'll get him over there for you at 823 North Michigan in Fremont, okay?
Okay. Can they come with their lights off and not to frighten my children, please?
Yep, definitely.
Okay. I'll look for them, knock on the door, and please try to send Mr. Geating, even if he has to be awoke from his sleep. It's that important,
Yep.
please.
Nope, he's on right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Weird. Okay. That is weird. Okay, so I looked him up because the chief mentioned North Carolina. All right, hold up. Oh boy, this is strange.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how he normally sounds, so, but it says here in North Carolina, there is an Anthony Paul Sirigliano who's 71. That might be his father. But I am seeing that he also lived in Boone, North Carolina. I'm not seeing anything for a job. I don't know. There's a pastor, Tony Sirigliano, 56, of Boone, North Carolina, who died in 2007. Tony Sirigliano Ministries in Wilson, North Carolina. It's a nonprofit. Let me share my screen. This can't be the same guy, but how many? Well, I guess it's an Italian last name, so it could be. There's another Anthony, but kind of strange. Let's see. Yes, so an officer went to the house and just, basically told them like, oh, if you need anything, they made sure everyone was okay. And then said, if you need anything, call us. And that's pretty much all we got. So here is the ministry's, what if he assumes someone's identity? I don't know, dude. But it's the Wimbledon Court in Wilson, North Carolina. And here it is. Tony Sirigliano Ministries. Six of 2007. $36,300 of income. So I'll show you guys what I'm seeing here. Here's a Tony that's in, this is him. Amateur weatherman. Here he is. So that must not be him, guys. I don't know. But here is his Twitter. I don't know what he did for employment. I'm trying to figure it out. It says amateur. Hold on. Let's make this bigger so y'all can see it better. Amateur weatherman, father and husband of a wonderful family. He's not following anyone on Twitter, and he has 12 followers. So he's tweeting about the weather. During my drive, this is December 19th, 2019. During drive home last night, maybe we can find a video where we can hear his voice. Long Island, he's sharing Long Island, New York weather. But this is from 2019. There's nothing newer than that. Here's a Martha Louise Sirigliano who died in 2019. Let's see who her relatives are. You guys are seeing what I would do on my free time right now. All right. We're going to do this real quick. We might just have to do Grady in another live because this is getting in depth. Let's see. That's Youngstown, Ohio. Let's see if they have. I don't see an Anthony. But we have David Sirigliano of Grayling, Michigan. But I can't tell if they're related or not. Maybe he's trying to be like Mike's weather page. I don't know what that is. What's Mike's weather page? Okay, Sermon Central. Oh, damn, there's no picture. Look. Church name, Tony Sirigliano Ministries. Job, pastor minister. Denomination, Adventist. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Just stick a fork in me right now, because I'm done. Ownerly, what's this? Oh, this is their the house in North Carolina, Wimbledon Court. So I don't know if this is the same dude. Look up Tony C on LinkedIn. I mean, I just put in Anthony Sirigliano, North Carolina, and this is what I'm getting. Here's another company. Susan, and his wife is Suzanne or Suzette. Right here, this is them. May of 1998, branch of Susan Company, Inc., Wilson, North Carolina, Anthony Sirigliano and Suzette Sirigliano. Delaware. But then we have here where it says revenue suspension. Revoked certificate of authority. Admin notice. I don't know what all that means, but let's see what the Suzton company is. No, I don't know who he is, Robin. You have to send me the link. What kind of business is this, though? It's a corporation. Doesn't it have to say what type? I have a feeling that he's in trouble with money. And that's what reminds me of the tote case. And this is registered in Delaware. Why does everybody register their businesses in Delaware? Does anybody know? Is it a tax thing? Lockdown with April C. Oh my God, Jay, look at his criminal charges. All zero details and all dismissed and disposed. What county, April C? He got a government paycheck protection. Wait, what are you saying? Taxes? Wait, hold on. You think he's wanted for taxes or something? I'm so confused. I don't know what you guys are saying. Taxes. I see you saying taxes, but I don't know. Okay, so he goes by Tony. Let's put Tony. I'm almost afraid to. I might abort mission. Oh, Delaware is taxes. Thank you, Snow. It's because of taxes. Okay. Here's the find a grave on Anthony Paul. No picture. Are you kidding me? Why would there be no picture? What's this cleartruths.com? Why would this dude add that? What? Brandon Michael Sirigliano, born 3503. Wait, Brandon, isn't that the kid's name? What? It says added by Tony Sirigliano. My dad and my son Brandon. This is his dad. This is his dad in 1972. My dad at 19 years old, 1970. Miss Robin, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But it says added by Tony Sirigliano on May 26, 2014. And this is a picture of his dad in 1972. So this is him getting married, and that's his dad. Your sister's friends with who, Claus? What? Wait, Claus.
What?
It is a classic J rabbit hole. Like, what the hell? What?
Yeah.
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors.
So this must be Anthony when he was a kid. That's his mother. That's his father. And then that's his sister. Okay, so Alley Cat, what do they do for a living? What does he do for a living? Dude, give us the skinny. Oh my God, my palms are sweaty. My palms were sweaty. World's proudest grandpa. So this is his dad holding his son. So that picture would have been taken in 2003. Well, then they're going to be after me, Miss Robin. Shit. Okay, let's keep going. This says added by Autumn, July 3rd, 2007. Let's see what else Autumn added. Autumn has been a member for 16 years. Oh, God, she's added freaking tons of shit. Okay. So she must have found that and added it. So Ralph Buck Buchanan shared this on February 7th of 2009. And this is Ralph. Ralph has been a member. He must be doing some spam on Find a Grave. So he must be putting his own website. Really, Ralph? Okay, and then he added this, Pastor Tony Anthony Paul. Marianne looks like she's still alive. And Ralph Buck Buchanan added this one as well. Okay, that's all the photos. There's 10 photos on Find a Grave for that. It says he was born in 1951. How can he be his dad? This doesn't make sense. I guess he could be. I guess the pastor is the father of this man. And Marianne, yes, Marianne must be the, yes. Thank you, Slimhauser. See, it takes a village to figure this stuff out. So why do you guys think he's worried about 9/11 though? All right, let's look. Okay, so his dad was born in 1951, Bronx County, New York, died June 25th, 2007 at age 56. He was young. And he died in Watauga County, North Carolina, and he was buried in the Seventh-day Adventist Memorial Cemetery.
You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
He died unexpectedly Monday, June 25th, 2007 at his home. He was the son of Teresa Starnella Sirigliano and the late Joseph Anthony, affectionately known as Pastor Tony. He touched many lives and brought many souls to Jesus. He graduated from the Southern Adventist University in Collegedale, Tennessee. Actually, he is in his 40s, Janice. Lockdown, that's crazy. He must have gotten it like expunged or something. He was a pastor in the Greater New York Conference until 92 when he moved to the Carolina Conference. In 2005, he began an independent ministry for gospel outreach in Boone. Surviving, in addition to his mother, are his wife of 37 years, Mary Ann Nozick Sirigliano, children Anthony John, his wife Suzette of Wilson, North Carolina, Natalie of Altamont Springs, Florida. Okay, that's too close. Paul Michael. It says, and Paul Michael Sirigliano of the home. Of the home? What? What does that mean? Paul Michael Sirigliano of the home. What home? Grandsons Brandon Michael and Noah Alexander of Wilson. And then he's got brothers Thomas, Joseph, Francis, Dominic, and Vincent, and then a sister, Rosalie. Oh, wow. Okay, look. The funeral will be held at 3:00 p.m. Saturday, June 30th, 2007 at the Morganton Seventh-day Adventist Church with Pastor Joseph Sirigliano Jr., Pastor Tim Sheridan, and Pastor Charles Hinman officiating. So who's Joseph Sirigliano Jr.? Must be his brother's son is also a pastor. He died of a massive heart attack at his home, it says. Okay, well, there you go. Still, we don't know what he did for a living. I guess we need to do some more digging on that. QAnon, you're saying? Jen and Cal said, my brother-in-law is a mega Christian, and he was super brainwashed by QAnon. Got cancer and died because he didn't trust doctors. It was so creepy. That is serious. Miss Robin, there's a guy I go to church with who is retired and has discovered the internet rabbit holes. He talks about all sorts of crazy stuff, including 9/11. That is really scary, Jen and Cal. So do you guys think he's in trouble with money? Like, what made him freak out? Hey, Bushi. Okay, where did Kitty Cat Claus go?
Meow. Meow.
Calling Kitty Cat Claus. All right, Lisa, I'm going to open up my email now. Whew. That's a lot to unpack. I think we should move on to the next story, and let's wait and see where they're heading. They're heading east. Let's hope that they go home and we can get some more answers on this. Kitty Cat Claus, do you know what he did for a living? Lisa said he used to be an IT director for the U.S. District Court. Maybe he overheard something that spooked him. How long ago? Yeah. I think we should move on to the next update. Hopefully these people come home and we don't have to hear about them anymore. That would be music to my ears. So come home, Sirigliano family. We don't want any more deets.
Why is it an issue?
Ashley, nobody said yikes, he hasn't come home, Ashley.
I like when he gears up for that one. Ashley, nobody said yikes. He really gears up for that one, Bertolino. All right, moving on. You guys ready to move on now? I'm not saying we can't revisit. And I definitely, Lisa, I'm going to check out your emails, but I don't want to get too deep on a live stream because you just don't know what you're going to bring out. It might be false info and the wrong people, and you just can get yourself in troubles here on the tubes. So I like to keep my nose clean. So we're going to move on from this one and do our next update, which you guys are going to be stunned by this next update as well. Okay, that one is weird, but this one is not only weird, it's freaking sad. And we're going to do Grady Judd last because we just love Grady. And I saw that he has a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and an Igloo cooler on the table for this press conference. He did a huge bust. He did a huge bust of fentanyl, enough to kill 2.7 million people. And we're going to hear about that. The name Ashley, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let's listen what happened, though, in North Carolina. Now we're back to North Carolina. Different case. This is a tough one. Trigger warning. There was a 9-year-old that was found locked in a dog kennel outside. Interesting, Janice. Interesting. Janice Peace.
Why is it an issue?
Ashley, nobody said yikes.
All right. So this is definitely trigger warning, but 3 people were arrested. And let's watch about the abuse charges that are coming for these motherfuckers.
My CID investigative team, we wanted to talk to you and got so many calls about it once we released, but on a very substantial call we took yesterday, we wanted to let you know and pass a message on as well. But yesterday, being October 19th, approximately 6:56 a.m., we received a call for a welfare check of kids in the central part of our county. Our deputies responded and arrived on scene at 7:01 a.m. When we arrived on scene, we made entry into a location that our deputies, we felt like exigent circumstances to go over a fence to go after and look, and we actually found a 9-year-old child within a dog lot that was on the premises outside and away from the home of this residence.
This is Davidson County, North Carolina.
The combination lock and the fence, retrieved this child. The temperature at the time was about 28 degrees. We found out that this child had been out there all night. We were able to, at that time, call for EMS to respond. And, or I'm sorry, I said we arrived at 7:01. We were dispatched at 7:01. We arrived at about 7:24. EMS arrived about 8:02 and was able to render aid to the kids that we found on the scene. We have made 3 arrests in this case, charged with missing Mr. and Mrs. Starr of the home, both charged with felony child abuse, misdemeanor child abuse, and false imprisonment. Both of those are under a $100,000 bond in the Davidson County Jail, and also charged as Miss Barnes, I think a relative of the family, charged with felony child abuse, misdemeanor child abuse, false imprisonment, armed by a felon, and misdemeanor of maintaining a dwelling for controlled substances. Any questions you may have? Yes, sir.
How many children total were there?
We were able to, we took 3 in custody on scene, and later got 2 more from a school, from one of the schools. And they have been turned over to the Department of Social Services of Davidson County. And let me say a special thank you to the Davidson County Social Services, for EMS, for the Southmont Fire Department, all the help they gave us for the EMS, and just a good combined effort to make a bad situation good. Let's see. Yes, sir.
Was the child, did they have a blanket or anything? What was the situation like inside?
There was some clothes that was there, just bits and pieces. A little bit of food was inside, but not enough to sustain warmth for this child. Yes, sir.
It's disgusting.
Specifics of the child to every adult.
It would be the biological son. The biological father was present, was arrested. The stepmother and the aunt
Unbelievable.
of the child.
Unbelievable.
Is there a reason that they gave that the child was inside of the kennel?
Well, we've conducted very thorough interviews with these subjects, but that stuff's going to be sensitive to the nature of our investigation. At this time, we can't discuss it.
Yes. Any other signs of child abuse? Obviously, this one child was located on the property, and there were 4 others as well. Any other signs of abuse on possibly the other 4 children, or other than locating the child in that dog bite? Any other signs of abuse?
So, preliminary evaluation is the other children are in good health. There's no physical signs of that at this time.
How long has this been going on?
So this is, we believe, what not to be an isolated date of offense. It's been going on for a span of time, but the specific details are, like I said, sensitive in nature due to the ongoing investigation.
20s at night. This poor child.
Have you ever seen a child abuse case like this in the county before? Or as bad as this in the county?
Not in my tenure here at the Sheriff's Office. I can't speak for the other detectives that have more experience than I do in this situation.
I've been in law enforcement for 36 years. This is the first time I've seen something quite this significant, to be honest with you. And one other thing we'd like to make mention is, and the reason for this press conference altogether, if you see something in your neighborhood involving children, elderly, whatever, say something to us. It wasn't an isolated case this time. This has probably been going on some, and we're not going to release any more than that. But the importance we want is for you, the public, to get involved and help us. We, the sheriff's officers, are only as strong as people working with us. We want to make it a combined effort. We're working together to make Davidson County safer for our kids and for our elderly, especially. And it would go on for any other crime too. Yes, sir.
And that kind of brought me to one of my next questions for you is, on that property that went up there, and there's bicycles, there's toys, there's a trampoline. It looks like it's a place where kids live and they're happy and there's no problems. But that's what people need to be aware of, are other signs. What can people look for? What do they need to be aware of? When should they call you guys?
I mean, when you see something very unusual, a lot of times you're not, but as you're going by, notice things. I mean, watch and see. There's
if you see a kid in a dog cage.
I mean, but nothing specific that I want to say today. But some are sometimes it's not maintained well. The premises are not maintained well. Sometimes you see these things. Just keep your eyes open. In this case, we can't give the specifics of what we were looking for, what they could have been seen, because this is still under investigation. It could hurt our case, but we want you to be observant of what, anything that looks out of normal. And there were some things that was very abnormal.
Yeah, see something? Say something. You can call anonymously. Unbelievable. This was going on for some period of time. We're talking about a 9-year-old kid.
This particular one. Yes, ma'am.
Were there any previous times that deputies were called to this address for any other reason?
I don't know of any other call that we had there.
Is that area?
He should have been.
In that area often, or is it a generally safe neighborhood?
It's down in our central location close to the lake. We get calls in that area, you know, constantly for different things, but it's not a bad area or anything.
Not a normal.
Mm-mm. Do you have a question?
How'd you receive the call? Was it from a neighbor, or can you describe that any further?
It was an anonymous call into the sheriff's office to start with.
See? Anonymous.
And then it was transferred to our 911 communications and dispatched.
Is there any canines located within that area or any other?
There was some, we saw.
There was a canine in the home.
Signs of it inside the home.
So the dog was in the home, the kid was outside.
Yes,
Nice.
So there was some animals on scene.
But not in that specific area?
Not in the dog lot with the child, no. Yes, sir.
When you all got to the scene, what were the father and stepfather's reasons for putting the child in?
That's very specific to the case. We're not going to be able to answer that right now. Yes, ma'am.
And Sheriff, how does it feel from a law enforcement perspective to come on a scene like this and witness this abuse?
I'd like to also thank this team, our team, and also the deputies that arrived on or are out working now. We've had a little debriefing here, and we all said, you know, and it was kind of unanimous theme. This is why you do law enforcement. This is why anybody gets in law enforcement, because we fight the battles for those who can't fight the battles for themselves. And it's what anybody that's in law enforcement will tell you that. That's exactly why you get into it for the long haul.
He's a good sheriff.
What are the current conditions of the child?
Children are in the custody of DSS, and that's as far as we know now. But
Physically, children are safe and healthy.
Safe and healthy.
Including the 9-year-old?
Including the 9-year-old.
She can go ahead, Sheree.
Yes, sir.
What were the range of ages of the children?
Okay, we had infant.
Oh my God.
4-year-old, 9-year-old, and the 2 in school were elementary age.
Oh my goodness.
Was the biological father of all the children at the home?
I think he's the biological. Is he not the father?
Not of 2. He's of 3.
Of 3 and not of 2.
Okay. Of the 3 youngest, or?
Since it's involving children, we'll kind of leave that part out, just specifically.
And was there anyone else any other adult who lived at the residence who did not get a charge?
Every adult that was present who we could verify lived at that address was charged and arrested.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
So to clarify, there was 5 kids in total? Yes. Okay. And also another question, where is the rest of the family? Can no one else outside of that house take care of the children?
Probably not going to answer that. We'll just keep it on. That's getting a little bit.
That would be a big McNo.
We'll leave it at this.
McNo.
They're in the custody of DSS now, safe and healthy. Yes, sir.
Do you know why 2 kids were in school, the other 3 were at home? Did you find the kids at school later? Is that why?
We knew about the kids. Not going to get into why. It's kind of getting into the case. Okay, let me say how much I appreciate y'all coming out. And I guess the final theme is, if you see something, say something. Help us help you. All right, thank y'all so much.
I like that, Sheriff. Yep. I agree, you guys. You guys all are thinking the same thing I am. We are liking this sheriff. No Elmer Fudd here. I know, it's horrible. But they cleared the whole house, arrested all those mofos. Ask questions later. There's a kid in a dog cage. Arrest and ask questions later in that case. And I feel like it's the same in the Leilani case. I have no idea why they cannot hold her. And to be honest with you, I wasn't going to talk about the Quentin case in this live, but I just want to say I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried that they're not going to find him, and I'm getting worried that maybe he's not in that landfill. And if he is, I'm worried they won't be able to find him. So if you guys haven't seen White Boy Lockdown Radio's video, he used to work for Waste Management, and he did a video on what happens to the garbage from when it's picked up to when it's put in that landfill. And it was so eye-opening and nauseating at the same time, but I didn't realize that. I never really thought about trash being compacted. From the minute it's put in the truck, they turn on those things and compact it down, and they just keep going on the route. And it's just, it's scary. So, all right, let's move into our last update of the day. We are making good time, guys. We're on 1 hour and 10 minutes. So we've got one more update for this live stream anyways. And we've got our friend Grady Judd. And like I said, he's got a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and an Igloo cooler. So I have no idea what he's got in store for us. I haven't watched this yet. But yeah, if you guys could put Matt's video in the chat for everyone so they can go check it out. It really was eye-opening. Did you guys just hear that? Literally, did you just hear that siren? The fuck? That was like someone going by my house. Cindy says, I'm even thinking Danny did the removal of baby Q first thing in the morning. Or was he moved? Was he put somewhere and then Danny took off to Atlanta? I don't know. I feel like, being out at the bar doing shots and shit, you have no care in the world. It's almost like they don't think he's going to be found in that landfill. They're very, very seem overly confident to me. And I might be wrong, but Bobby Joe and her and Leilani seem very overly confident and very bold. Is that right, Cindy? This is going to piss me off. All right, so this is a fentanyl bust. Let's get back into where we are. Again, Grady Judd shares details on the latest fentanyl bust.
Any fentanyl to seize. It's not bad enough that we got cocaine and methamphetamine. We got all kinds of illegal drugs. We got opioids, and then we've got fentanyl.
Sorry, the audio's shoddy.
Opioid. And we're going to spend a lot of time today rolling out the problem.
This is a 20-minute update, guys.
Where we were able to make this seizure, but it's because we work with our colleagues. And I have standing with me today, Brandon Seeley, who's the group supervisor for FDLE. Come on up here. But I want to start out and kind of give you a little history.
Hey, Jeff Kent.
Of why we are where we are. This, folks, this is the San Miguel Town Hall, City Hall. And if you look closely, you can see there are a lot of bullets peppered throughout City Hall. This is the funeral and burial of one of the folks that was in the City Hall. They killed 20 people in the City Hall. 20. Did you hear what I said? And you said, oh my gosh, you did something like that. Well, I can tell
Show
you
us.
That it was the Jalisco cartel.
What?
Now here's a close-up, okay? Do you see the amount of bullets that was shot into this town hall? And this is during a business day why people are trying to take care of business in San Miguel. So at the end of the day, you see a town hall shot up. You see the burial of some folks that were in the town hall. And you go, what's that got to do with your seizure today? Well, actually, it has everything to do with our seizure today.
This sounds serious.
Because people want fentanyl or opioids, Mexico is providing them. How are these opioids, this fentanyl, getting here? Across the border, the porous border. Now, folks, last year alone, our last complete year of data, 107,662 people in the United States died of a drug overdose.
Oh my God.
80,810 of those 107 deaths were opioids or synthetic opioids, fentanyl.
Evil. It's evil.
Cocaine kills you. Methamphetamine kills you. But unless you have a horrific overdose, it kills you over time. It doesn't kill you DRT, dead right there.
It's horrible.
An overdose of fentanyl kills you DRT. This much fentanyl is a lethal overdose. Now you extrapolate that amount in your mind over 5 kilos or almost 11 pounds of fentanyl that the Heidi team, our sheriff's office, FDLE, Border Patrol, our state attorney's office working together, we seized this amount of drug, the most ever seized in the county. The drug is coming across the border in a greater amount than ever. In fact, we are told by some of the heroin growers, the poppy growers that convert their poppies to heroin, that they're seeing a lesser amount of heroin, being able to sell a lesser amount of heroin from their poppies because the opioid has increased. The market has changed.
I'm sorry, Jenny C.
Folks, listen to me. Listen to me clearly. 80,000 people died of an opioid overdose. What would we be doing if any other country, pick one, Russia, China, spread a new disease here and killed 80,000 people in 1 year? That's what Mexico's doing to us. And they're doing it through an open border.
Thank you, Angie.
That everybody wants to make a political event over. The criminals are no fools. There's 3 groups in Mexico. 2 of them are allies. This cartel, Jalisco cartel, is messing up the deal. Sinaloa cartel and the Familia Michoacan, that's Polk County spelling or pronunciation.
Michoacan.
Or allies.
That's J
so
pronunciation.
Now you got the Jalisco cartel. They're the ones that shot up the city hall. Since the current president of Mexico has been in place, 18 mayors have been killed. When they shot up the city hall in San Miguel, they killed the mayor. They also killed his dad. We do a pretty darn good job so far of keeping that kind of rampage south of the border. But if you open this border, like they're opening this border, They're bringing the product up here. When does that kind of activity move across the border? Because it will. Well, we're sitting here in our comfortable offices in Congress.
Get him, Grady.
And in the White House.
Get him, Grady.
Not worrying about it. Kind of like the congressional group, both Republicans and Democrats. The White House didn't worry as long as they were rioting in Portland and Seattle until they got to the Capitol building. Then it was a problem. It was a problem the whole time. If they continue to set in the position they are and continue to allow this fentanyl to come across the border, we're going to continue to have hundreds of thousands of people die needlessly.
Grady for president.
The end user doesn't understand, doesn't care where it comes from. But at the end of the day,
Snow.
It's not something to brag about that we've seized 5 kilos of fentanyl. It's really a sad state of border security affairs. So
Okay,
what do
hold
they
on.
do? They get this across the border.
Okay, we're going to pause there for a second. Janice Peace says, everyone loves this sheriff, but why aren't the criminals worried about him getting them? He seems to have a lot of crime in his area. I think that what you see is Grady Judd is more transparent and does more press conferences than most sheriffs. Most sheriffs do these drug busts and don't do press conferences, or we don't see them. So I just think that he's just more transparent than most, and that's why. When it comes to everything, he does. He's very transparent.
And then they stamp it with pill presses. This is supposed to be a M30 blue oxycodone pill. It's made to look like the legitimate pills.
That is so scary, you guys.
You buy this on the street, you think, hey, somebody's ripped off a pharmaceutical. No. This is fraudulent. This is this raw fentanyl that's come from Mexico that went to someone's lab where they pressed a pill to look like a legitimate pill.
This gives me anxiety bad.
And they're giving it to your child or a child near you.
Why?
And they're dying. DRT. Every day. By the hundreds in this country. Why aren't people concerned? This is how it's coming to us, among other forms.
Okay, I'm going to
So
pause
who are the
again.
folks? Let me
Sorry.
introduce
Before
you
he
to-
introduces these folks, I want to say that with Halloween coming up, this petrifies me. And I know that some people say, oh, they've never produced proof that they're putting it in candy form, making it look like candy. But if they're going to make prescription pills look like something they're not and make them fentanyl that would kill people, why wouldn't they package it up like candy? And I'm worried about Halloween. Guys, please be very careful this Halloween. I'm not trying to start fear mongering, but just be very vigilant. I mean, when we were little, it was pins in frickin' apples. You know, we were looking for little holes in the damn packages of the Reese's and the Skittles. But now they're making Skittles look like Skittles, but they're not. They're fentanyl. There's fentanyl in it. So it just makes me sick. It makes me sick. All right, let's continue.
These folks that were involved in this. Ignacio Rodriguez, he's 28 years old.
Good God.
He delivered the 5 kilos. And
God almighty.
Here's what it came in.
Oh, Lord.
A child's cereal box. 2 kilos were in the box. 3 kilos were in the cooler. That's right. Think about that for a minute. Borrowed the kids' Captain Crunch box to deliver the fentanyl. He delivered it. But let me introduce you to two of
razor
his
blades.
counterparts.
That's right.
This is Mario Castro Salachi. He's 29. He's a money courier. He's the one that picks the money up for the two gangs that are friendly and makes sure that it gets back to Mexico. What? He lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. He wants to establish the fentanyl drug pipeline into Polk County for Central Florida.
Objection!
We stopped that. Our detectives, who are the very best, working with the Border Patrol, who is fighting this border crisis not only at the border but all over the United States, was with us, as well as FDLE. They're the best in the business. But you know what? He's here illegally. Did you hear what I said? He's here illegally. He doesn't have a driver's license, so he has a driver. Pedro Mondragon, he's 27. He's a U.S. citizen, and he's got a driver's license. So he is Mario's driver. So he says, come on, Mario, boom, boom, boom. We're going to go to Polk County from Manatee County and deliver drugs. And then Mario says, great. And I'll get the money, and we'll go down to the nearest area and wire this back to the Sinaloa cartel. Oh, they can't take the money today anyway because they're busy warring with the Jalisco group who just shot up San Miguel. That's happening every day. We are fueling that war in the United States when we buy their fentanyl, their cocaine, their methamphetamine. And you know, I'm not going to let the marijuana people off. They're also lacing fentanyl in marijuana in the United States when we buy their fentanyl. And you know, I'm not going to let the marijuana people off. They're also lacing fentanyl in marijuana. So when your kid goes out this weekend and he thinks he's getting him some marijuana.
That is petrifying.
And that's all. He may be getting a deadly overdose of fentanyl to go along with it.
Do I need to replay that?
Pedro said he wanted to be a police officer one day. That's amazing to me. So we're here today to announce the largest seizure ever. I'm here to tell you there is a direct nexus to warring gangs in Mexico. They sell methamphetamine, they sell cocaine, they are mainlining fentanyl into the United States and killing your children. Are there any questions?
Did these guys have priors, any of them in Polk County or in the state of Florida?
In the United States, one of them, our driver, has a previous DUI. And you know why he's got the DUI? He hit a deer, and he pulled over to the side of the road and called law enforcement to report his vehicle crash. The other two don't have any criminal history in the United States. Well, folks,
here's a poll for you guys.
If you're
Poll
from
time.
Mexico, and we don't know if they've got criminal history down there, if you're from Mexico and you cross the border to bring drugs and to transfer money back, it's a mess. Raleigh, North Carolina is the hub for this group. Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh,
and then the
so you
drugs
guys,
came to break.
you guys just said there, Robin, you said there was a huge bust in North Carolina. So he's saying that Raleigh was the main hub for these dudes. Wow.
And we worked with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. But the reality, folks, is while people are trying to come across the border, even though illegally, but to improve themselves and their family, the cartels are taking advantage of that. And they're bringing their fentanyl and their methamphetamine through. Why Border Patrol's busy with this volume of people? It's got to stop. That 5 kilos of cocaine is capable of overdosing and killing 2.7 million people. I want you to look at this chart. That 5 kilos of fentanyl, I keep calling it methamphetamine because they lace it. That 5 kilos of fentanyl, it doesn't have to be mixed. Sometimes it's in a pill with inert ingredients. Sometimes it's mixed with meth. Sometimes it's mixed with cocaine. Sometimes it's mixed with marijuana. But that 5 kilos is capable of killing everyone.
I can't.
In that many counties, wiping out everyone. 2.7 million people. That's how deadly this fentanyl is.
That
I
one
don't
bust.
know what we have to do to get people's attention. First, the user at the bottom end, you keep using fentanyl, you're going to die. And you're not going to die of old age. And there's 80,000 opioid deaths to prove that in the United States.
87,000
But the power
lives.
players are people in Congress, our federal power players, the president. If you don't stop this, you're helping kill
Yes,
a lot
vote.
of kids and a lot
Vote.
of people in this country that shouldn't die.
Even if you don't have kids, vote
We
what
can
you
only
would do.
so much at the local level. But we've got to rain terror down, not only on the illegal cartels, they have no rules. They'll kill 18 mayors. They'll shoot up city halls. We don't want that here. But that's a normal event in Mexico. But if we keep letting it leak across and leak across and leak across, and the drug floods across, eventually that
Absolutely.
will be here.
Grady, is fentanyl something that dealers put into weed, for example, to make it more marketable, or is it something?
Here is the presser. Show it to your kids. Show it to your family.
Like, do people actually know they're taking it?
They usually buy the cannabis knowing it's laced with fentanyl. At least that's
They
how they normally
usually
market
buy it with, okay.
But they get it by mistake. Or they get stoned and they get their piles of drugs mixed up. So they're pressing this fentanyl to make it look like oxycodone, legitimate pills. They are dusting it through meth, through cocaine.
Dusting,
They're
you
dusting
guys.
it through cannabis, and then they're selling it and marketing it because it gives them a stronger high and a more powerful high.
They want them hooked.
And they're looking for that ultimate high. Well, they're getting it. 80,000 of them got it last year out of 107,000 that died. But we got to work together. It breaks my heart to think that anyone dies of a drug overdose. And we're doing our part in law enforcement.
So senseless.
But the brothers and sisters in law enforcement could use some help. Yes, sir.
I've seen reports of this stuff making it into candy as well.
Let's talk about candy. Halloween. Does Grady have any tips for parents? Here we go.
Sure. First off, I haven't seen any of this mixed with candy or Halloween candy, but the basic tip for Halloween is if it's not sealed and wrapped up, don't let your kids have it. But what I have seen is the marijuana gummies laying around, the gummies laced with methamphetamine laying around and the kids accidentally picking it up in the house. But my point simply is to say I'm very proud of my detectives who are simply the very best in the business, my undercover
They are
folks.
simply the very best.
And we're looking for the opportunity to take off more drugs. And my relationship with the FDLE, and we have Nicole Orr from the state attorney's office here. She's the lead prosecutor in these cases, and she's going to do her part.
No, you are not
so
blocked,
at the end
Owl.
of the day, we've got the team working here. But dadgummit, people have got to wake up and understand that stuff is pouring in on us across the border, and it's killing our people. And there are gang wars over the market south of the border.
Where was the lab that pressed the fake counterfeit blue pills?
It doesn't have to be a lab. It can be someone who buys a pill press, and you can buy them online. So it's not always a lab. It's somebody in their dadgum bedroom that have bought a pill press. And can you imagine determining whether you live or not is, okay, here's your M30s, and the guy who's putting the fentanyl in with the inert ingredients, he's stoned tonight. And that's what we typically see. When we see one fentanyl death here, we usually see 2 and 3 and 4 close together. What happened is an overdose amount got mixed into that drug got sent down from the traffickers to the sellers to the customers, and we see 2 or 3 or 4, and then it goes away. And then a week or two, a month later, we see 2 or 3 or 4 die again. We've got another overdose amount. So it's not a structured lab as we would think in the real world.
We have a history, and there's press reports of this cartel in Florida and in Polk County. What is your agency doing to address this cartel particularly?
Well, we got 3 of them in jail. We investigate these cartel people every day. Every day. And we not only investigate them here, we try to track them back to Mexico.
We will track you down.
How much luck do you think we get extraditing cartel members when they're killing mayors 18 at a time? How you got to get someone to deal with them, take them in custody when we identify them and get them to us. And that happens. But we're working a large meth operation a few years ago. And while we were down there with our undercover operatives in Mexico, they cut the head of the police chief off. That slowed things down a while. So my point is, these are very violent gangs, and if you get in their way, they murder you. They shoot up the entire city hall. Folks, this is not just people coming across the border because they want to do better for their community or for their family and their community. This is organized criminals that are flooding their fentanyl and their methamphetamine and their cocaine through the border. And dadgummit, we've got to make a political issue out of it where if this political party wants to stop it, then that one thinks we shouldn't. And that is wrong, wrong, wrong. Shame on all of you. They ought to toss all your, we've got to make a, and that is wrong, wrong, wrong. Shame on all of you. They ought to toss all your butts out of office and get some people in there that want to protect that 80,000 people that are dying of opioid death, or those 107,000. Any other questions? I can't think of another way to badmouth these guys, but if y'all help me out, I'll try. Y'all have a good weekend, and know this. We're going to protect your children. We're going to arrest these traffickers. We're going to send them to prison for a long time. But you know what we've done here? We've taken the competition away from another set of traffickers. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Grady Judd. Yeah, so this is obviously ongoing problem. We've been covering this for quite some time. We will continue to cover this because if we don't talk about it, who's going to talk about it? There's people dying. I mean, when it comes to the point where everybody pretty much knows someone who's been touched by fentanyl or opioid use, I think that almost everybody can say that they know of someone who's been touched by it, whether they have a family member or a friend. Someone has been touched by that addiction, and it's sad as hell. It's sad as hell. Woo! All right, so I got to come down from this. This was a lot of information in this live. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you could give me a quick like, and also quick reminder, get your kitty cat names in. Kitty cat claws, kitty cat names. I'm going to be picking them tomorrow. So we're going to have 8 of them to break down. All right, you guys, I'm going to close this out for now. I will probably see you guys tomorrow, if not sooner. If anything breaks, I'm here. I'll be going live. So make sure you're subscribed. Click that little notification bell that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. It's a cute feature nonetheless. So thanks, YouTube, for that cute little feature. And yeah, thank you so much, you guys. Take care and stay safe. Dance this motherfucker out.
Roberta. I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Roberta.
You want to go to Walmart and hang up the sign?
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, on my ass. Coke and Jack.